Hello and welcome to Bits of Java. Today we're going to talk about array lists. So array lists are not part of the basic Java lang package. We have to import it. So it's import java.util.ArrayList. So an array list, this is going to store a group of items, and array lists can only store objects. So let's have a group of strings we'll store. The syntax is we have to tell the compiler what we are going to put into our list. So we use these triangle brackets to store whatever we want. Here we'll do some strings, and let's have a string called supplies, and we'll construct this. So we use our constructor, new array list. We still have to say the same data type, and just like a constructor, we also have a parenthesis. So we have a array list that has been constructed. I'll use the object bar to show you what's on the inside of an array list. So if you open up an array list, what you actually have, you have an array of objects and a size and how many times it's been modified. So we'll keep this open over here. So if I want to now do something with this array list, I have to put something in it. There is a method called add. So I will add a stapler to my list of supplies. And you'll notice that the size of the list has increased to 1. And if I open up my element data, you'll see that there's a stapler sitting here at position 0. Now, on the inside of an array list, even though it says a size of 1, it actually has an array underneath it. So right now, there's room for 10 objects, and if we go more than 10, it'll replace that array with a new one, and it'll grow as needed. So let's add a few more supplies. So we'll add a paperclip, and we'll add a pen. And you'll notice as we go through here, the size has increased. We've modified it 3 times. And here's your stapler, pen, paperclip, and pen at 0, 1, and 2. Now let's say that we need to add a more important office supply. Let's put some paper in front of the paperclip. We want to put it at location 1. So there is a way we can add, at position 1, we can add paper. Because the add method is overloaded, there are 2 ways of doing add. You can do 1 argument or 2. The first argument here is the location you want to add it. So if I do that, it inserted paper at 1, and notice how it shifted everything for you, everything else that was after paper. So that's the add method. We can also set, so let's say that we don't want to have any pen, we want to have a fancy pen, so we'll do supplies.set, and we'll say set 3 from pen to fancy pen. And there we go, we've changed the value that was at 3. So we can add, we can set. If we want to retrieve information, we can use get. So like if I want to get the item that's at 1, let's get some paper. It returns the paper. So there's add, set, and get. We also can remove. So let's remove the stapler from our list. Supplies.remove the item at 0. And notice it went ahead and deleted the item at 0 and shifted everything up a spot. So there is no empty space here. It's always going ahead and shoving everything to start at 0 and not putting any nulls in between. And our size is currently 3 right now because we have paperclip, and a fancy pen. So those are your add, set, get, and remove. Again, with an array list, you can only put objects inside of an array list. So if you wanted to add a list of numbers, like an int or a double, you have to use the wrapper class, and that would be for int, the wrapper class is integer. So you would write it like this, integer. And if you want to have a list of doubles, capital D double, nums2. So there you go. You've got these wrapper classes that inside of them, let's just take a quick look. Let's add a number to nums. And inside of the nums array list, there is an integer object sitting here at 0 that stores the value of 1. So it's basically smuggling in a primitive value to be stored in your objects only array list. So those are the basics of array lists.